We're talking with Helaine Olen, the author of Pound Foolish, Exposing the Dark Side of the Personal Finance Industry. She also has Helaine Olen's Money blog at The Guardian and is a contributor to Forbes and has been all over TV and all over the media. Helaine, do you ever get called a socialist in any of those responses? Because I feel like to be an effective and a smart person, to really explain the macro trends here, you sort of have to talk about these things like the gains in the economy going to the top 1%, going to management, going to the owners of capital, and them accruing the wealth, and sort of the old mechanisms of redistribution that we used to have, like the labor movement and a strong welfare state and strong consumer protection organizations and agencies and laws for lawsuits and torts going out the window. You have to kind of you have to go there. You got to talk about the decline of social democracy in America and how and retell that myth and tell the real history, which is that middle class was hard earned with all of those through the struggle of workers to really create artificially a middle class.
Right. I get everything from you're a communist and socialist to one big personal finance reporter who shall be nameless, who I was on the radio with a few months ago, looked at me after the mic went off and said, "You're a real Debbie Downer, aren't you?" It's a message that people who don't believe it on some level don't want to hear, or I should say don't believe it, who purvey that you can do this don't want to hear. It's the idea they are selling this dream that you alone can do this, that you can triumph over the evil economic forces of the world. And for all too many of us, it's simply not true. But to engage with it, the first way they try to shut it down is indeed to say, you're in on the vast left-wing conspiracy. I've gotten that one too, by the way. You're a communist, because of course, to argue that, maybe we should have a progressive taxation system apparently makes people a communist or socialist in 2013.
To me, this is one of sort of the major American, frankly, pathologies on the one hand, and perhaps it certainly has its high points in that we're so upbeat, we're go-getters and everything like that. But when you go to Europe and even when you go to Latin America and some parts of Asia, the situation may even be worse in some cases, but there's an awareness that there's a power dynamic at play here, that some people in society control a certain amount of the wealth and they use that power to protect their wealth rather than let's say distributing it in a way that will allow for a robust middle class, that would allow for shared prosperity.
Right. I mean, it's more commonly accepted. I have to say, one of the things that's been astonishing to me, because the book has only been published in the States and Canada, is that it has been reviewed by the Canadian, by the European, and by the Israeli press. And over there, it is almost 100% favorable. They get these trends. They understand this implicitly, that we are all in this together. Americans sometimes don't want to think that, because we've been schooled in this idea over here that, everybody's born equal and anybody could be born in a log cabin and become president. But of course, it's not completely true. As I like to tell people, Horatio Alger was a writer of fiction. But to say that that's not true is to challenge not just an American myth, but a global myth. And we find that very hard to do.
Well, Helaine, in just a second, we're going to cut to break. But when we come back, I want to continue this conversation and talk with you about whether that trend is changing at all in the United States. I also want to get your take on one of your favorite bête noire, which is Suze Orman, and also what you think about what role the public sector should or should not play in the issues of retirement saving and personal finance. So stick around, everybody. When Take Action News continues, we're going to continue our conversation.